The river's secret. In the heart of a forgotten forest, where sunlight barely pierced the ancient trees, there flowed a river that had never dried, not even in the hottest of summers. Its water sparkled as though kissed by the stars themselves, but there was a reason no one from the nearby village dared to go near it. Legends whispered through the wind that the river was alive, guarded by a mystical presence. Some swore they saw shapes dart beneath the surface, while others heard laughter when the mist rolled in at dusk. Travelers spoke of a shimmer beneath the water, of eyes watching from the depths. But no one had ever seen her, until Liora. Liora had always been different from the others in her village. She was drawn to the river in a way she couldn't explain. While other children were told to fear it, to never wander near its edge, Liora had always felt the pull of the water, like a song only she could hear. Her jade-colored eyes lingered too long on the riverbank, and her thoughts drifted like the current away from the safety of the village. The day before her 16th birthday, Liora felt an overwhelming need to return to the river. The pull was stronger than ever, as though the river itself was calling her by name. It was dusk when she slipped away from her family, the sky ablaze with the fading light of the setting sun. She wandered upstream, further than she'd ever dared before. The forest grew thicker, the air heavy with moisture and a quiet that seemed to swallow every sound. The trees bent over the water like silent sentinels, casting shadows that flickered in the dimming light. Liora's heart pounded in her chest, not from fear, but from a strange anticipation she couldn't understand. Then, through the swirling mist, she saw someone. Hovering just above the surface of the water was a girl. Her hair flowed like liquid silver down her back, and her wings, delicate and shimmering, glistened like crystal droplets. She was ethereal, otherworldly, and yet her eyes, deep and ancient, held a sadness that chilled Liora to her core. She was the most beautiful thing Liora had ever seen, and yet something about her seemed wrong. "I've been waiting for you," the girl said, her voice soft and melodic, like the whisper of the river's current. She floated closer, her toes skimming the water's surface. Liora blinked, startled. She hadn't expected to see anyone out here, especially not this. "Waiting for me?" she echoed, her voice barely a whisper. The girl smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Yes, Liora, you are the one. How do you know my name?" Liora asked, her voice trembling as she took a cautious step back. The air around her seemed to thrum with an energy she didn't understand. "I know many things," the girl said, her wings fluttering softly as she lowered herself to the riverbank. "I am Maria, the fairy of this river. And you, Liora, have something that belongs to me." The world around Liora seemed to tilt, the trees and the mist spinning together in a dizzying blur. "Something that belongs to you? I don't even know you." Neria's expression hardened, her eyes darkening as the river beneath her began to churn, rippling unnaturally. "You carry the key to my freedom. It has been with you since the day you were born. Your mother once made a promise she failed to keep." "My mother?" Liora's breath caught in her throat. Her mother had died when she was just a baby. Her father never spoke of her, and Liora had grown up with nothing but vague stories and unanswered questions. "What are you talking about?" Neria's wings fluttered, and she stepped closer, her gaze never leaving Liora's. "Your mother sought power from the river. She came to me, and in return for my magic, she promised me her firstborn child on the day of their 16th birthday. Liora's heart pounded as the truth settled in like a weight on her chest. "What do you mean it promised me?" "You are to take my place, Liora," Neria said, her voice cold. "I have been bound to this river for a century, unable to leave, trapped in an endless cycle of life and death. Your mother's broken promise means that now you must fulfill the bargain. You will become the new guardian of these waters." Liora stumbled back, her mind reeling. She wanted to laugh, to deny it all, but the river's eerie glow and Neria's sad, ancient eyes told her this was no trick. "No, I can't. My mother would never. She wouldn't have done that." Neria's expression softened, though her sorrow remained. "She did not tell you, I see. Perhaps she thought she could outsmart the pact. But the river's magic is older than time itself. If you refuse, the river will flood, destroying everything in its path. Your village will be washed away, your home gone. You must choose, Liora. Take my place, or let everything you know be lost." The river began to swell, its once calm surface now swirling in a violent dance. The trees around them shivered as the current's roar grew louder. Liora's mind raced. She thought of her father, her friends, the quiet life she had always known, and the undeniable connection she had always felt to the river. But how could her mother have done this? How could she have left Liora to face such a terrible choice? "I won't do it," Liora said, her voice stronger than she expected. "I won't sacrifice myself for a promise I never made." Neria's wings drooped, and a flicker of something, pity, crossed her face. "I don't want this for you either, but I am bound by the magic of this river. The pact is unbreakable." "There has to be another way," Liora insisted. "You've been here for a century. There must be something you missed, some secret." Neria's lips parted in surprise, but then she gave a sad shake of her head. "Many have tried to find a way to break the pact, but none have succeeded. The river's magic runs too deep." Liora's eyes narrowed. She had always felt something different, something stirring deep within her when she was near the water. Could it be connected to this? Could she, somehow, be the one to find a way out? "I will find the truth," Liora vowed, her voice steady. "But I won't be trapped here, and I won't let the river destroy my village." Neria's eyes widened with surprise. "No one has ever defied the river before. You think you can find what others could not?" Liora's heart pounded in her chest, but she held her ground. "I don't just think so. I know." Without waiting for a response, she turned and ran, the mist parting in her wake as the forest swallowed her whole. She had 24 hours to uncover the truth of her mother's deal with the river. 24 hours to save herself, her home, and perhaps Neria too. But as Liora ran through the thickening mist, a chilling thought echoed in her mind. Who really was Neria, and what was she hiding? The wind carried a strange sound, the faintest whisper of her name from far below the river's surface. A voice that wasn't Neria's, and it was frighteningly familiar.